a number of you, maybe not you, maybe it's other folks, have said, oh, well, the COVID vaccines are experimental. Oh, the COVID vaccines are not FDA approved. Oh, they're experimental. Oh, they have not been tested in animals even. I've seen a number of things. And whenever I see a lot of comments of a particular or a certain thread, I know there's something going around on the internet, on the Googler schmoogler. I don't know if you guys have seen this floating around social media, but there is actually a meme, like a post going around Facebook and other places, and it's entitled 6 Facts About All 3 Vaccines. As you can probably gather, the facts that they mention are really not facts at all, and that's what we're going to talk about. The first fact that they list on this meme, and let me know if you guys have heard about this, by the way, just listen to the comments if you have. The first thing they list is that none of the vaccines are FDA approved. Now, you guys already know what I say about that. I just did a video on that last week, earlier in the week, on the vaccines and FDA approval. No, the vaccines are not FDA approved, but that is not new. That is not news. The vaccines have always had emergency use authorization. That is what we are able to have at this point. Take a look at that video so you understand why. This particular meme floating around social media entitled 6 Facts About All 3 Vaccines, I'm calling it out because what I want to do is alert you to this so that when you see it, you say, oh, Dr. Jen talked about this. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm remembering what she said about this. So the first thing that it says about the vaccines not being FDA approved, well, yeah, duh. Okay, that's nothing. And that's nothing to be alarmed about. Okay, the second, actually, I'm going to skip the second one because the second one is that they're saying that all vaccines are experimental. And I'm going to come back to that in a little bit. The third thing that this meme says is none of the vaccines have completed initial research trials. Okay, well, let me get my notes up about that. All righty. Well, that is false, guys, okay? That is completely false. In fact, one of the reasons why we have these vaccines to be able to get ourselves is because they have completed initial trials. If they had not, if we did not have data and initial data, the vaccines would not be available for us to get. But more specifically, Pfizer trials, let's see here, phase 3 trials of Pfizer actually started July 2020, and the results were published in December 2020. So once again, this claim that none of these vaccines have completed initial trial results, that's absolutely false because Pfizer's phase 3 trial was from July. The results were published in December 2020. By the way, all 4, okay, have completed initial trial results. Oxford AstraZeneca was April to November 2020. Their results were published in The Lancet. J&J phase 3 trials went from September to January. Moderna, July to October. I think it's July to October 2020. Their results were published in New England Journal of Medicine. So it is false, guys, categorically false that this meme says none of the vaccines have completed initial trial results. That's false, okay? That's not the case. Let's go to another thing that this meme says that is false, by the way. Number 4, you might have heard or people saying this in the comments. This meme says that all vaccines were allowed to skip animal trials, okay? And I think sort of the idea, as you can gather from me, this sort of meme running around is a meme and a poster sort of in an attempt to sort of dissuade people from getting the vaccine. It's to say, hey, look, we shouldn't get the vaccines because, hey, it didn't complete initial trial results. Hey, it's not FDA approved. Hey, it wasn't studied in animals, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm debunking all this stuff so that you know what the real deal is, all right? In terms of skipping animal trials, that is false. Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines, they actually released the effects of the vaccines that they studied in mice and non-human primates. Johnson & Johnson and Oxford also have. I think, so the point being is that they were studied in animals, though I think one caveat that would be important to note is that the Moderna and Pfizer trials actually received approval to run animal testing as well as early trials on humans at the same time. But they did not forego animal testing, okay? So don't let someone tell you, well, they didn't undergo animal trials because that's actually false. That is not true. And remember, guys, all of this is on the internet and reputable sources. You can find this, okay? So what I'm saying is it's not secret information. This is information that is out there that you can actually fact check if you like. So let's see. Let's go to the next one before we get to the experimental idea. 5. This is number 5 on that meme, said that none of the vaccines will complete a research trial for 2 to 3 years. Let me get my notes about that. Let's see here. That's not true, okay? According to Reuters, Reuters fact-checking, that's not necessarily true at all. They give a really great explanation that I'm not going to go into here just because for the sake of time and getting to the experimental question, but I do want to let you know that according to Reuters, that is not true, and there are reasons given by Reuters as well, okay? But let's say that even if the trials weren't going to be completed for the next 2 to 3 years, I mean, would that be, there are many trials that go on for years and years, and we collect data. I mean, look, the trials, we're still learning things about the vaccines right now. So I'm not really sure why people are using this to dissuade others. But anyway, the last thing, the number 6, before we get to the experimental part is, it says this graphic that all vaccines are free of liability, even if one kills you. That I actually don't have a comment about. I'm going to need some lawyers to weigh in. I'm just not commenting, not because it's true or false, but because I'm not a lawyer. And I don't know, these memes are just, they're just crazy. So let's go to item number 2 on this list, which is that the vaccines are experimental. How many of you have seen people saying, well, the vaccines are experimental? Okay, how many of you seen people commenting, saying that on my posts, on other people's posts, right? I know many people have, okay? Because many people comment, like sometimes even when you guys comment saying, hey, I got my COVID vaccine, da, da, da. Sometimes, somebody on the troll side will say, well, they're experimental. I don't know why you did that, or blah, blah, blah. This is the thing, guys. Are COVID vaccines experimental? Well, that's not true. They have been put through standard safety testing and rigorous standard safety testing before being put on the market, before we were able to get them. That's one of the ways we were able to get the vaccines, okay? This concept of being experimental implies that they have not been tested, tried, true, safety tested, etc., and that's not the case. So what I want everyone to know is that this idea that they're experimental, the idea that the vaccine's not FDA approved, et cetera, I've kind of gone through those items, but remember that many people are using those to dissuade you and other people from getting the COVID vaccine, okay? What's really important here is to really know the facts and the truths. This vaccine's not experimental. They've been put through rigorous testing. They've undergone trials with tens of thousands of people have been in these trials. And also, I think it's really important to note that millions of people have gotten the COVID vaccine at this point. So, guys, please keep that in mind. I love you. Stay safe. Get your COVID vaccine. Stay strong. Look after each other. Mwah.